What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Prowl Nation Roar. Brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. This is your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors from your perspective. If you want to join us on the show, you've got the link right in the live chat. So make sure you check it out and come on the show with us. I'm Queen of the Prowl, and joining me today is Mr. Summer himself, LL Cool J, Cool Torrance. How are you doing?
LL Cool Dan too. What's up? Whoever that might be, but
I almost say LL Cool J because I was rocking mid back in the day.
oh yeah, yeah. That was a heavy influence here. But happy Wednesday, everybody.
So we got a lot to talk tonight. We're going to be looking at the roster projections that we think of who's going to make the team. But before we get into that, let's get our intro in, and we'll be right back. Hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July holiday, whether you celebrated this past weekend or you celebrated last night with all the fireworks. But before we get into our main topic, there was a little bit of fireworks going on with a story regarding a certain Lions player. Let's just get this out of the way. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but us as fans, we got to get this out. So, Ella, why don't you tell us what happened with 4th of July?
Well, I'm not even really sure, but word is that Jameson Williams was posting lighting fireworks on his Instagram story or something like that, somewhere on his social media, and that set a certain sports writer ablaze. I guess he wrote a article. I didn't even see the article, but I I don't whatever, but I guess the point of it might be that there's more just scrutiny on Jameson Williams, rather you believe it to be fair or unfair, just some more extra nonsense. So I don't know if you have any more details. Can you help me out a little bit with the details there?
Well, apparently, I forget the writer's name himself who wrote this, but it apparently sparked a bit of fireworks in our own personal chat and discussing this topic, where Jameson Williams had posted a video of him lighting fireworks himself, which the beat writer was basically expressing the fact, you've had players in the past who have blown their fingers up lighting fireworks. And I think this was a really dumb idea for Jameson Williams to be posting this kind of stuff, especially with all the other controversy surrounding him. And we haven't really seen much of his production yet on the field. And you should be, if you're going to be a player that's making money with your hands, you should be leaving the fireworks alone.
My question is what kind of fireworks was it? Because
I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were enough that would have probably caused some kind of a spark if you did it the wrong way.
Was it though? And then what if as long as I'm not gonna blame it on being country, because I know my family has had instances with that kind of stuff back when it wasn't so legal. Like quarter sticks of dynamite and all that kind of stuff. But if it wasn't nothing like that, I don't really think it was any harm to him. And then you're right, I agree with you. Like, the problem is posting on social media, because now people can talk about it. Like, I wish people understood, like, the less that you show people, the less you tell people, the less that anybody will ever know. And
right.
that's just the base of it. And I ain't saying you got to be out here like trying to be all secretive and stuff. But if you just don't post things, people won't know certain things. So that might be the end, or the cure all. There is just but that's everybody. We all need to take a step back from social media in some kind of way. Even myself, I even fast from certain things, and I include the internet on certain days. But you can get caught up in it. So maybe I post stuff that I probably shouldn't. I don't care though. I laugh at it. I post things for
Mhm.
myself to laugh at. So But me personally, I don't really care, and I wish that this wasn't even a story.
Yeah, me too here, especially. This is what I had been saying about JMO before. You really got to watch what you're at. And now I get it. Now, there are fans that say, oh, this beat writer should be fired. He's not a Lions fan. Rumor is he's a Vikings fan. This was information I was getting from Kurt. But the thing is here is the media is developed to be vultures. Okay, they're going,
Are they?
especially at this time of year. Look, we didn't even have a show on Monday because there was like nothing to really talk about, to be honest. At this point of the season, okay, not until training camp starts, it's very hard to find some news. So hey, you find something relevant to write about. It's the 4th of July. What are the guys doing with fireworks? And that just happened to be the thing. Now, if JMO did this on purpose, this is a really dumb idea, okay? Now, is JMO allowed to post whatever he wants to on his socials? Sure, fine and dandy. But when you're already under scrutiny because of injury, being drafted the way you are, um, not playing very much last year, and you're suspended for 6 games for gambling policy, which another controversial thing. I think, boy, you need to sit down and put your damn phone away
I
because
again,
you in trouble.
I agree. I agree with the phone being the issue, maybe, but that affects us all. But for him, yeah, and that's most important. I truly don't care about what anybody else posts on their stuff, and I don't think posting lighting fireworks is that big a deal. Years ago, like growing up, we celebrated 4th of July big time.
Mm-hmm.
Like even I tell this story. Like I was scared of this werewolf movie called Silver Bullet, because one scene is like they outside shooting fireworks, and that traumatized me as a kid. Like being like 5, 6 years old, I was scared to go outside for like 2 years. Even when it's fireworks, I was outside. I was terrified of werewolves still, but I was outside doing fireworks because that's what my family doing. We did way crazier stuff. Like we had firework fights. So with the new with plenty of different types of fireworks. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't the safest, but nobody ever got hurt. I know it could, it always can happen, but thank God that the people in charge it wasn't that bad a situation. Things that we were playing with wasn't gonna hurt us that bad, even if it was, that kind of stuff. But you can have fun, you can do whatever you want. It's just maybe not posting it is the best thing to do. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It all kind of depends on what kind of guy he is too, because y'all gonna keep messing with him, and it's gonna get to a point where he might, what I'm saying, he might, the post might become intentional, and then it might be, damaging in that way, and then all y'all gonna say is see look. And it's like, nah, I should just left him the fuck alone.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that this post wasn't I mean, this was intentional to some degree. How intentional it was, I know a lot of players recently have liked to use Twitter, Instagram to kind of troll, to gain attention, to kind of play around with fans in different ways. We saw this before with the one guy I can remember posting with the Eagles. He came here from the Eagles.
Oh, CJ,
Uh,
GJ.
yeah, CJ, DJ. So I know that there's a lot of that going on. So I'm pretty sure this was intentional on his part, whether it was just trolling or he just don't care, or he just wanted to have fun and that was just his thing. Um,
Whoever in the
but
chat, let us know. Like if y'all seen have you seen the video, Miss Val? Like like what kind of
I
fireworks we
saw
talking about here?
pictures of the video. I did not watch the video myself, but it was clearly evident that he was close enough to fireworks with his hand lighting them.
Was it like a Roman candle or like just a little
It was
joint, like a
I
jumping
think
jack?
there was like a few. It was a bigger thing of fireworks. So
Thank God.
from the picture,
Let's put it like this. Thank God it didn't end the way that it did. Right.
right?
There you go.
But I think
Or the way that it could have,
you
not whether
have
it
to
did.
watch what you have to watch what you post. I mean, you're in a position where people are watching you, and yeah, I
Make
mean,
make your page private. Something. I don't
yeah,
know. Or just I don't just man. That's the problem, man. Don't nobody know
yeah.
how to.
That's see right
Everybody
now,
got
no
something to say
Lions
about something.
fan. Yeah, no Lions fan wants to hear any negative press right now. It's hype season,
It ain't
right?
even
You don't.
negative. This is just a non-story to me. Like
Yeah,
this ain't negative nor positive. This is just dumb on the people
yeah.
reporting it part.
That should be yeah, but it is a Fourth of July kind of a story. It's you're gonna get
It's
something up,
like you said,
but don't.
it's slow news, no news,
Mhm.
and this is why this is happening.
Yeah, but don't give the media ammunition to work with you when you know they're already
And
gunning for you and watching for it.
this gentleman, y'all say he's alleged to be a Vikings fan, all this kind of stuff. I don't care if he is or he ain't. My question is why do they do that anyway? Like, I guess I get it because if you know football, you know football. But you also have to understand, like, people in general have biases. Sports people have biases, extreme so, because you're allowed to in sports. I say fuck
Mhm.
Ohio all day, all night. Well, I actually got personal beef with Ohio, so I can't make that. I can't say that. But like, I don't have no beef with Green Bay, Wisconsin. Personally, like, I don't care. I kind of want to go there. Sound pretty cool. Sound like a place I would like. Lots of water, lots of outside, lots of wilderness, lots of things I would like. I can probably go catch a whole lot of fish out there. But because I'm a Lions fan and because there's a team called the Packers that play there, fuck that whole place. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
as much as I like football and as much as I feel I know football, I feel like I can write about any team. But yeah, my bias would show, even jokingly, against the Packers because fuck them. So I feel like this is across the board. Like, and this is like I complain about this with the big networks. They have people come on and talk about the Lions that just talk about every team, and the Lions and the team to get talked about. So they either gonna say something, they're gonna say something one way or the other, like completely wrong in the negative, completely wrong in the right, or whatever in the hell. A lot of people just aren't that informed. So maybe they should just pick more people that are informed. Shout out
Mhm.
to, of course, our dog Kurt, and shout out to Smoke and Jeremy B because he do a little bit of writing down, for some publication down in Florida. But he is also a Lions fan. And I would like
Mhm.
that, hey, let's reach out to a Lions fan and tell people about the Lions. Let's just not have a division
Mhm.
rival saying anything about this team because biases do exist.
Right, and biases exist, and there's the other part of the whole media problem is that, and especially in journalism, you're trying to find the breaking news story, the new story that nobody else is covering. Um, that is how you make a name for yourself. And this happened to be where he picked it up. He was the one who to cover it. The Lions beat writers did not. So there you go. I mean, you have to. This is why Luke G is always still so on Free for All Fridays to do your research. There's bias and
And
everything.
and speaking of Luke G, I like people like Luke G and Smoking Jimmy B because I feel like they have a much harsher opinion on the Lions. Like they'll say, we all well, I won't say that because I feel like we all say negative things, but they can sometimes seem like, hey, dude, is you even a fan? But I understand because it's just in the lack of a better term, it's like if you got a family member, whatever, and it's like you probably be way hard on them because it's like, dude, what I'm saying? Get it
Well,
right. So
you
I
gotta
understand.
understand. Some of us roll from the Gen X crowd, and the Gen X crowd believes severely in self love. So
Yeah.
if we ain't picking on you to do better, you
I also because y'all are more informed. So no matter how harsh or whatever it is, at least it's informed. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It kind of whether you're gonna be right or wrong, at least know what you're talking about. And a lot of times people
Ex-
just don't know what they talk about.
Exactly. Let's see who is in the Proud Nation Roar conversation tonight. We got Dan Spanos, Lions 1960,
What's up? What's up?
Lady Lion 20. We've got Mike, the reliable one, Mr. Michael Huck. We got Frog. I was that Frog Crap. I have to look this up because his name looks like Frog Crap.
Yeah, frog crop.
Frog Crop. Welcome to Prowl Nation. If we haven't seen you before,
Was that frog crop?
we got Zach J, the jazzy one, Paul Juros, Gary Edwards, and Detroit Fan Man, and Mark Malik in the building as well. We got everybody in the building. If you wanna join us live and share your thoughts on the whole JMO situation, there should be a link where it's at under Detroit Lions, under my name, Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So look up that in the chat. Should be towards the beginning. Everybody, Dan Spano says, leave that kid alone. Hey, we got to cover the breaking news. This is not our choice. This happened to be breaking news, and we got to cover everything. The writer needs to shut the hell up. Michael Huck, what should JMO do? Sit down and say nothing unless he's playing football. He's young, leave him alone. I say, JMO, enjoy your fireworks.
Yeah, just put it down.
Just put your phone down.
You'll have way more fun. You'll have way more fun because now you have two hands to do stupid stuff with. Believe me.
Gary Edwards said they just on his head sparklers, shaking my head. Well, even sparklers and a phone together when you're doing shit.
If it really was just sparklers.
I don't think it was sparklers. If it was just sparklers.
If it's really sparklers, whoever that gentleman is, he needs to be fired.
Detroit Fan Man, how do we balance this JMO thing, though? Our guy has been a negative headline now more times than he's caught passes. This is tough so far, but still optimistic.
I don't think it's tough at all because this latest one, why are we talking about this? Other than that, it's been what it's been, but that's only really two things. We knew he was hurt, so whatever. I don't really care. Like, we knew he was hurt when we drafted him, so be mad at that part. Don't be mad at him for being hurt. And then two, all right, he got suspended. We know that part already. And now that the details have come out, it might be some real BS behind the suspension. Whatever, it don't look like it's gonna be no appeal. Whatever, however, but let's not get besides ourselves now. You don't forget, like, people were speaking certain ways about Kyrie Irving. It's just like, yeah, but why was he missing games when he wasn't hurt necessarily? But so let's just, whenever people say all these negative headlines, yeah, but half the shit is stupid. So,
well, like I used to say a lot, where if people aren't talking about you, then you ain't nothing to talk about. So
that's a good point.
So if the more haters you get, the more champagne you should be drinking because you on somebody's lips. Okay, so
that's one way to look at it.
I think JMO's got a little bit of a diva, attention whore kind of a mindset at times. I mean, hey, this is a new thing. Build your brand, get attention.
Oh.
Do your shit.
I think I might be following him on Instagram. I don't know if I've ever seen any pictures of him. I don't know, so I don't know what he do online. But
I mean, I can't say, but so far it's kind of leading that direction for me. But hey,
I ain't seen that part yet.
I'm not thrilled. I've never been a fan of him since day one. So take that bias into effect. Lions 1960. Great point, Val. We don't need another JPP situation where an elite player loses fingers. JMO's hands are his bread and butter. He should take extra care.
I just want to know. I really want to know what kind of fireworks these were.
I should look up the photo, but JMO gets to dinner, uses the restroom, and clears the restaurant due to the massive dump. Cue the negative media. His poop wasn't big enough, damn it. He's not eating enough fiber. Zach J, from a fan's perspective, JMO is allowed to do what he wants to do, but from JMO's perspective, you think he would want to be smarter? One wrong move and your career is over before it starts.
What would be worse, him ruining his career, or y'all thinking he about to ruin his career or all of this dumb shit?
Pretty much the same damn thing.
One way to look at it. I can't. I'm trying to find. I have to see this now. I have to see this.
Yeah, let's see what those fireworks are, because I remember back in the day when I was a child playing with the M80s and the cherry bomb. So okay, yeah.
I man, let me tell you.
See, Gen X grew up on shit that isn't posted on social media. They don't called us the Darwin generation, where all the dumb died young. Okay.
I tell you a quick story, and this is how things went with my family and fireworks. We had a quarter stick of somebody in the family had a quarter stick of dynamite. Blew a big hole in the ground. It used to be an old folks' home behind our house. Set the alarm off. It set alarms off in the neighborhood. Blew a big old I won't say crater, but like a big hole in our backyard. And this is just all for the sake of it. So fireworks is what it is, but and also it wasn't in nobody's hand. It was on the ground and all this other stuff. So I don't know. I just say that to say I'm coming from a firework fight veteran. I'm certain that whatever he did ain't that bad. I can't find nothing on it, but I'm certain. Not saying it don't exist, but I'm certain it's out there, but I can't find it. I'm about to give up in a minute.
Oh, we got Coach Mike up in the house. What you doing,
What's
Coach
that,
Mike?
Coach Mike?
You want to come in and share your thoughts? The link is up there somewhere. Let me see if I can repost it again. The StreamYard link, if anybody wants to join. But yeah, I'm pretty much, we had to cover this topic. It's pretty much, to me, it's non-news in my opinion. But, we had to talk about it because it just happened to be one of those things that we have to talk about.
I found it.
What does it look like? Was it sparklers?
Hold on, it's I guess it might take a little second. I don't know. It's one of them packs. Oh my God. It's one of them. I probably should have put it in the camera or something. I sent it to you, Miss Val, but it's one of them packs. And it ain't. Nah, like this ain't. I feel like we all should be chilling on this. And he kind of like not putting himself in he being a.
So he trolling. So he's trolling basically.
I think he lightened it, but I think whoever saw that is like taking it way around the corner with it. And
yeah.
I just say this. It's very slow news week.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just sent it to you.
And it's all right. It's all good. So we're just gonna put that horse to rest. Happy 4th of July. That was your 4th of July news break for the holiday. But we're gonna go into, because we're looking forward to training camp. And sideline report, and it wasn't from Kurt, okay, but sideline report did their 53-man roster projection for training camp. So we're going to go through this and see if we agree or we don't agree with these projections, and see if we have maybe any different projections in these positional battles. Starting off, we've got the quarterbacks. The roster projection here is that Jared Goff will start and Nate Sudfeld will be the backup, and Hendon Hooker is still under this deemed red shirt year from Dan Campbell, and so that's why Sudfeld will be the backup for the training camp and into the beginning of the season. We agree with that?
For now.
Yeah, for now. I don't see Hendon Hooker being much of a. I see him in training camp doing some things, But I do agree that Nate Sudfeld's going to be the backup with Jared Goff to start the season. That might change midseason to late, but yeah, I think we're stuck with Sudfeld.
I'm gonna say for now because I don't know how likely this is going to happen. But let's say in 2 weeks, whenever training camp start, they be like, hey, Hendon Hooker is good to go. We're gonna let him go for training camp. I think that might be the end of Nate Sudfeld. So for now,
Well, I it's not the best choice at backup, but hey, I mean with Stuckfield, but I guess we got to do what we got to do. Okay, we're going into the running backs now. The roster projection looks like it's going to be David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs, Mohamed Ibrahim, Jamar Jefferson, Jason Kabinda. Kabinda being the lock for the active roster until shown otherwise or injured. So it looks like the battles between Jefferson, Reynolds, and Ibrahim. And Craig Reynolds is not even expected. Is one of the veterans that is not even expected to make week 1.
I seen that article. I don't disagree with that. It'd have to be like one of them. We gonna let him go find another spot because I think they'll definitely take Craig Reynolds over Jamar Jefferson. So and probably over Mohamed Ibrahim. It's already alleged that he didn't have fumble issues. I don't really know what happened with Craig Reynolds last year, so that's another reason why I don't disagree. I don't know how good a favor he might be, and if he were to be cut from here, he's gonna go straight to Carolina. I feel like Duke's gonna take him. So yeah, and I'm not so sure that Jason Kabinda is a lock because we got a couple extra tight ends. You know what I'm saying? We might want to use, let's say, we using Laporta out there as full-time tight end now, and you might want to use James Mitchell as your tight end too. You might put Brock Wright as your fullback now. I feel like he could survive in that role because we kind of barely use it anyway. But I feel like he could survive in that role. We was using Kabinda on the end of the line at most points in this season anyway. So Brock Wright is already used to that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What they used to call them H-backs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not so sure that Jason Kabinda is a lot, is all I'll say.
Right. I'm not calling Kabinda. I'm not calling Jefferson or Reynolds a lock. Any one of them a lock. I think it will be a 3-way battle between these guys for the roster spot.
Probably.
If you're gonna ask me who would I choose, Kabinda or Reynolds, I'm going Netflix all the way. But
yeah, for sure.
Jamar Jefferson, I don't.
For whatever reason, he ain't really caught on yet. I thought he would have been our other guy last year. He couldn't beat out Justin Jackson, right? So
yeah. So I'm not sold on him either. So we'll have to see how that battle wraps up in training camp because I don't see at least 4 of those guys out of the 7 being any lock for a roster spot. Looking at the wide receivers, we have in positional order, the projection is Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond at 4, Antoine Green at 5, and Tom Kennedy in dead last. We know that Jameson Williams has that suspension, so somebody's going to get his roster spot.
I agree with this. I don't have any changes either.
Yeah. The only one I'm not sure on this list is Antoine Green, where he's going to land. Because he's not one of the players I'm more familiar with. Everything else I can pretty well agree with. So I think Tom Kennedy deserves to be in that last spot. I'm just not sure if you know, how good Antoine Green is at this point, and
Well,
if he could be better than Reynolds or Raymond.
they already they like him allegedly, and they already gave him a nickname. It's Megatwan. If you ain't already heard that part, so you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it fits or it's legit, but I'm saying they like him enough to give him that nickname. So I don't know. I feel like his spot is safe. I feel like he can play football, man. I think if we really have an honest conversation, if it's down to the nit and the grit, I feel like he'll make it over Marvin Jones.
Mm. Yeah, I think Marvin Jones is going to be though that veteran
I feel like he'll make
slot
it.
guy for the rookies. That's why I think he's going to be a little higher up. And being that backup, that more reliable source than relying on a rookie in the backups, the second
Oh
backup
wait,
spot.
okay. If we talking about like these wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 5,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Marvin Jones probably won't start, but he'd probably be like the third, fourth guy. It's gonna be Amon-Ra and probably Josh Reynolds starting it out, or probably Amon-Ra and Josh Reynolds starting out, and then Marvin Jones. Whenever they put Amon-Ra in the slot, they'll put Marvin Jones out wide, or either Khalif Raymond out wide, or either in the other slot. And that's why I like, and they like Antoine Green, which I've already read. Of course, it's just been nothing but pajama parties, but they saying that they can line him up everywhere, and he's showing that he can play everywhere. So they didn't necessarily have a lot of guys to play the outside wide receiver. He can do that, but he can also play anywhere else. So you
Yeah.
know,
Coach Mike is predicting the rise is Montgomery, Gibbs, Reynolds, Cabinda
mm,
on the run.
mm.
I think Montgomery's going to have that starter spot. Gibbs would be right behind since he is the newest draft choice. Of course, he's going to go right behind the vet. Josh Reynolds, or no, you're talking about which Reynolds are you talking about there?
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds. I'm not sold on Cabinda. I'm just not. I hear. And Paul Droz is asking, has Cabinda ever made any big plays? I'm not recalling that, to be honest. Cabinda making any big plays?
Not off the top of my head, but that don't mean that he didn't. But Cabinda be hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's just coming off another injury, isn't he? Or
Probably. I know he was coming off injury at some point last year. I think he might have finished the season healthy, but yeah, like I'm not sold that he'll make it because we might got another guy that can play fullback. I don't know if they use Brock Wright at fullback though, but
yeah, and you've got Gibbs being able to play the slot. So yeah, I'm thinking that this projection here makes a lot more sense than the running back room or the running back room. Hmm. The only one that's I'm in question here is Antoine Green and where he'll be able to fight in the training camp battles. Going into the next positional group, we were looking at the tight ends. And the roster projection here is Sam Laporta, since we got 4, Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, James Mitchell, and Shane Zylstra at the bottom for now. And he is another one of the guys that is expected as a veteran not to make week 1.
yeah, I could see it falling just like this. And Shane Zylstra probably be on the practice squad if he eligible for that.
Mm-hmm. We were able to carry 4 tight ends because of JMO's suspension. Derek Deese Jr. signed as a UDAF last year and is a dark horse candidate.
He'll probably be on a practice squad.
Yeah, I don't see him making a roster slot. I think this is pretty accurate, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I think this is pretty well a good roster prediction for the 53-man roster. Offensive linemen. Taylor, we got 9 offensive linemen on this list. Taylor Decker, Panay Sewell, Frank Ragnow. You know I'm not saying it. It's Big V. Jonah Jackson, Graham Glasgow, Colby Sorsdale, Ross Pierschbacher, and Jermaine Ifedi at the bottom. This is quite an extensive list here.
My only question would be is how many do we normally carry? I'm not aware of that number right at this moment. But if it's 9, I agree with this. If it's not 9, I don't know anymore. But I
Yeah, I
definitely I
believe
think
it's
I agree with it.
9.
I think I agree with it.
Yeah, because Ifedi is the notable addition over Matt Nelson because of his experience. So, yeah, I'm looking at this as 9. I'm not sold on this Ross Piersbacher. I'm not sold
I'm just not
on
familiar with them.
Colby Sorsdale being on this list. But if this is a depth issue, I think would make it because of that. If not, I don't. Those guys to me are practice squad guys, to be honest. Um, so I mean, if depth is the concern, that's the only way I see them making the 53-man roster there. Um, in the defensive line and edge, we got 9 on this. Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Lee McNeil, Isaiah Buggs, John Kaminsky, Broderick Martin, Josh Pascal, Charles Harris, and Romeo Cora at the bottom of the uphill climb.
Mm,
Anzarika is going to face an uphill battle due to health and otherwise. Um,
I think I agree with that. I think I agree with this too.
yeah, I do too. I
Barring
see.
barring any barring any unfortunate happenings, I think I agree with this.
Yeah, I do too. Let's take a look at some of the comments that are rolling in. People are expressing their thoughts on some of this stuff. Uh, Zilstra will be gone. Um, Stenberg is probably gone. Is easy practice squad again? Yeah, pretty much. Um, and Coach Mike says Matt Nelson, Graham Graslaw, Abina, Easy, the Rook, source out. To me, those all of those guys are well, except for Glasgow, are practice squad guys.
I feel like Matt Nelson out of here because Sorsdal is the new Matt Nelson. So,
Yeah,
well, I don't
pretty
know because
much.
they play well because he allegedly could play all over the place too. I finna say they play Matt Nelson all over the place, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
He's a dark horse for me in how he's going to perform in training camp because I don't know him that well. So that's one guy I'm going to be taking a look at for sure. Um, but right now, as far as what I know about him, I don't see a roster slot outside of depth for him. But here we go. Linebacker lives matter. And you know I'm never going to say his name right because I do it on purpose. It's Alex
Mm-mm.
Anal um, which I why are you here, dude? Just why? um, you're a mediocre linebacker at best. Why?
Man, let me
Uh,
tell you something. What game on NFL Network they've been playing games? I forget which game it was. The Vikings, the second game. Man, it looked so nice. So at certain points, oh man,
I mean,
that's
he can make a
not
few
just
moves
him,
here
but
and
the
there.
the team, the team, the defense. Man, oh man, but yeah, Anzalone, I have no more beef with Anzalone.
I do. I Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know, but no. I know. Uh, According to their roster projection slot with it, we've got for the linebackers Alex Angelzone, Jack Campbell, Malcolm Rodriguez, Derek Barnes, and Jalen Reeves-Maybin. And with these basic nickel sets, Angelzone and Campbell or Rodriguez will be the two starting linebackers. Barnes could pitch for a bigger role, and he'll be an important depth piece as he enters a critical season for himself. And Reeves-Maybin is back with the team after signing this offseason as a core special teamer. I kind of agree with this a little bit. I think I'm really hoping Barnes pushing in for that bigger role works out for him because
I don't,
that was
I don't know how. And I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, but I don't know how we get Derek Barnes at 4 when all we heard is that he stepped up in a big way. He wore the green dot last year when Anzalone was out, and
he's at 4.
we heard that Jack Campbell has to earn his spot. So we already pretty much been told like, hey, don't be shocked because Cuz ain't about to start at least right now because pajama party.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's a bad combination. I think that it'll be Anzalone and Barnes starting, and then Jack Campbell will be the first guy off the bench type. You know what I'm saying? The first backer off the bench type of role. So which he might end up starting by the end of the year or whatever it is. But I think especially early on, there's gonna be Barnes in the mix for that for sure. So I think he's starting over whomever.
Well, I think some of the mindset behind this roster prediction. Now, I did not make these predictions. We're reacting to someone else's, but so I mean, I don't know their thought processes, but I'm going to take a guess here that Jack Campbell shows up higher simply on the grounds of being the current draft pick.
I don't know, because like I said, well, we already seen, everybody's friend Coach Shep, and when he made to say, oh, I'll start this 5th round rookie over y'all, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't, because he'll do that over veterans, you know what I'm saying. So I don't, and we already heard again that he'd have to earn his spot. So I'm not sold that he's gonna be a day one starter. I'm not saying that he can't be. I'm just not. I'm thinking that, at least in my head, that the guys in front of him is gonna be playing better than him.
Well, the other part of this is Jack Campbell is more specifically designed for the scheme we run with the 4-2-5. So Derek Barnes has kind of struggled with this so far. So that will be an interesting to see that matchup between the two. Now, previous reports have showed that it's going to be the training camp battle here is actually going to be Campbell versus Rodrigo.
I ain't heard that part yet. I heard Rodriguez got a lot to prove.
Yeah, they both do. I mean,
they do.
Again, yeah,
but I also heard that Derek Barnes is taking the most of his opportunity. I ain't heard that.
Yeah, true.
The other gentleman yet.
But how does that actually show up on the field versus? And because he's been showing up preseason, but he hasn't really shown up very well.
I know. I'm just saying, but I feel like it's better to say, hey, at least he's looking good, than instead of he got some. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point we saw Derek Barnes getting a lot of snaps that Rodriguez used to get at one point last year. So I don't know, man. However it goes, I think our linebackers now are fairly decent. At one point, our linebackers wasn't very good. They wasn't playing very good, especially. But I feel like we got a much better linebacker room now altogether. So cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that. I'm going to give this linebacker core right now, looking at what's here, B-, which is better than what the Lions have had before, but yeah, it still needs some work. But I
don't know, man. I don't know, man. If it look as good as it can, I give him a better grade than that. But for now, I won't disagree.
Yep. Cornerbacks is what we're looking at next. I know some of us are jumping the gun. We will get to safety. Cornerback Cameron Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, Jerry Jacobs, Will Harris over Starling Thomas. Mosley's recovery from a torn ACL last season invites the idea he could start training camp on the PUP list, but if that lasts to the start of the season, it'd be surprising. Harris is a coaching staff favorite, and the UDFA Thomas makes the 53 here. Ooh, this is a horrible cornerback.
So I don't know what Will Harris gonna do. So I see my dog Coach Mike in the chat. So I'm a lay off him. But who else? I think Chase Lucas makes this team. Y'all forget in the limit in this preseason time he got Chase Lucas was making plays. He eventually ended up picking it off, but he had a couple of almost interceptions like in each game he got to playing in the preseason. So I think Chase Lucas is gonna make this team. I've only heard good things about Starling Thomas though. Of course, there ain't been much to hear yet, but they've only said positive things about him. So I think he almost, I don't want to say a lock, but as close to a lock to make this team in some kind of way, rather be the 53 or the practice squad. I think he'll be here. But Will Harris, I don't know, man. I don't know. And if he does make this team, it's gonna be like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like I thought y'all said y'all want good people. I thought this was about improving. Like y'all just gonna keep doing that? I don't know. I would really start to look at these guys funny in the light because why is Will Harris still here? If we talking about being a good team, why is he here?
No one knows why Will Harris is a coaching favorite or
because he's
why
gonna be a
he's still
coach.
there.
Because he's about to be a coach.
Is he going to be the water boy coach? Because I mean that's pretty much his skill set.
Defensive backfield assistant. That's what he's gonna be. I'm certain he can coach him up. I'm certain he can coach him up. He might could tell him, you know what I'm saying? If you got to play inside technique, you know, do like this instead of doing like that. I'm not a cornerback, so I'm not going to try to be
I
like
would
one,
not take any cornerback advice from Will Harris. I love you, but nah.
What if technically sound he was good, it just his body failed him. Like he wasn't fast enough to do some of the stuff that maybe they needed him to do.
Now, I believe that more out of Jeff Okuda, whose body couldn't keep up with whatever. But, well, Harris, no.
Y'all act like Jeff Okuda had everybody talking different in the beginning of the season.
Except me.
Probably
because I saw the truth.
Probably not. But I mean,
I saw
the truth was the truth was what he was putting out there. You know what I'm saying? He was actually playing decent.
I saw what was behind the smoke and mirrors. I you know. You can only fool people for so long. But this cornerback situation is rough. Just freaking rough.
Is it?
Now, yeah. Yeah. Cameron Sutton's all right, but Emmanuel Mosley's struggling there. You get Jerry Jacobs is all right. You only got Cameron Sutton and Jerry Jacobs that I'm really anywhere near confident with here.
What if you only need those two guys, right? What if you only need in certain situations? And especially in our base defense, what if you only need?
I don't know.
Cam Sutton and Jerry Jacobs, and then you got CJ covering whoever on the slot, or you got Brian Brandt. You know what I'm saying? You might not even need to have Will Harris here.
This is still a positional.
I think we
struggle.
Okay. I think our DBs is gonna look a lot better because of our front line. Our pass rush is gonna be real good. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be dominating and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's gonna be real good. We're gonna be knocking some people around. So with that being said, that's gonna help our entire defensive backfield, but our corners especially. And that's why I think they did that because, you know, I watched a bunch of tape because I was real unfamiliar with Cam Sutton. I just watched a bunch of his a bunch of Steelers condensed games, and that's what he's good at. You know what I'm saying? He's good at, you know what I'm saying, making or taking advantage of rush throws. And that if we can generate some of those, which we are building our defensive line to do, seems like we're building something to work hand in glove. So I feel like our defensive back, again, I didn't disagree with you. Or that was linebacker. So I don't necessarily disagree with you that we don't got the best cornerbacks, but I think they'll fit real
Mm-hmm.
well with everything else we got going on defense.
But I'm going to be with you on wanting to see Chase Lucas here on this list over Will Harris or Starling Thomas. To be honest, either one of them,
I
especially
want
Will
I want
Harris.
I want Starlin Thomas to make it because number one, he coming back from some some trying times with them knees. But number two, like even with that, he's still blazing fast, so they say. You know what I'm saying? He can stay with whoever the fastest guy they put out there in front of him. So that's impressive. It just make you think like, what if he never got
Mm-hmm.
hurt?
But see, I remember Chase Lucas from last year when it was the Hard Knocks, and he was talking about, he was going to be excellent and all of that, and he was going to show the world his shit, and yet then we didn't see him again.
I don't know if that was
So,
his fault, but in the time he got, I vividly remember he played all right in the preseason games. He played okay.
so I would really over Will Harris would like to see what Chase Lucas could bring to this table. I mean, sorry, we gave Will Harris his shot. You had one shot, and it was your
I'm telling you,
opportunity to blow.
it's going to be Coach Harris in just a few short moments.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, I got nothing against Starling, but that's why I say probably Will Harris here. I'd rather see Chase Lucas take that spot. But and Starling can stay. I mean, he's not one of my favorites on this list. I mean, the only one that I'm truly confident in this cornerback situation right now that I know what he can do, and I'm pretty confident in him is Jerry Jacobs. The rest of these guys, I don't know, man. I
Yeah, I
don't
mean
know.
it's wait and see on everything, but so I don't
Mm-hmm.
disagree, but I think they're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. This was stop and foul on Chase Lucas. We look. I know you love Will Harris, but you'll learn. Um, um, Going on to the talk that everybody's waiting for in the chat, the safety room. The roster projections, the 53 man are CJGJ, Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, and if he is on this 53 man roster in the safety room. Gardner Johnson's in line to the primary slot corner, but he's technically a safety by position label. Branch is similarly versatile. So if you take those two guys and kind of add them to the cornerback room, I'm a little bit more confident with the cornerback room.
See, but
I mean,
go ahead, my bad.
yeah, and Melon Fonmu came into the league as a corner before moving to safety, but Melon Fonmu is going to stay at safety. And I hope that he sends Walker back to the nursing home, because Tracy Walker, I'm sorry, is mediocre at best as a safety. And
They ain't the same type of player. Number one, but number two, that's crazy. Tracy Walker be out there laying it down like he plays safety I like the way he plays safety. I just say that.
he would
I
be
like the
a
way Tracy Walker plays
backup
safety
or third string on great teams.
because he was hurt. Yeah, but starting
Yeah.
heavens no.
No, even before
Um,
before he got hurt.
he better than a few safeties. Whoever the Eagles' strong safety is, he better than him. He better than
Yeah.
Harrison Smith. He better than
Mm.
fuck Harrison Smith. Who else out there? He better than whoever the Bears got back there. He better than a lot of guys. So healthy, of course.
Yeah.
Because
See, Walker.
if they hype up guys like Jordan or was it Poyer and Chin and the Buffalo
Mm,
safeties and all them other guys, you'll hype them dudes up. Tracy Walker, not you personally, but
right.
if people give them respect, Tracy Walker need to get a little bit more respect.
But I do have to say that I am really loving this safety room for the biggest reason as that there is the most versatility here. You've got safeties that can be cornerbacks. You've got box safeties. You've got slot guys. You've got cover guys. You have all the dangerous weaponry here in the safety room. This was one of the biggest positional groups that's seen for me, the biggest upgrade in the offseason. And the fact that there's so much versatility with what used to be the blind ballerinas of the backfield, I'm very happy with. That this extra strength can carry over to the weakened cornerback slot and provide some extra help there to kind of even it out. That's still going to be an upgrade, like we talked about a few weeks ago, where this secondary here could be the most dangerous secondary in the NFC North. On paper,
Oh, for
right
sure in the
now,
north. For
this
sure in the
is
north.
yeah, this is the most. This is a lockdown, dangerous safety group or secondary group for the NFC North. The Bears pretty much only have a guy or two. Packers took a downhill slump in this spot. Vikings are pretty much at where they've been. So, I think they took a little bit of a downgrade. So, yeah, this is going to be dangerous. So, it looks like Melon Fanwu is and Tracy Walker here are, Melon Fanwu, was seemed to be got the standout for safety for the offseason. So he's getting more comfortable in that role. And then Walker, we're still seeing progress from the recovery for that injury. So, but he's unlikely to land on the PUP list, and he's a virtual lock to be a full go for week 1, according to reports. So, the guy I'm most excited to see outside of Iffy is Brian Branch. I have so much love for Kirby Joseph, but no, you can
I know.
stay in your special role when But he's the last guy I really want to see on the
Joseph,
field.
man. I like Kirby Joseph, dog. I like Brian Branch too. I like CJ GJ. I like Tracy Walker. I hope it be what it could be. Is all I say.
Mark Malix is saying if he will not make the roster, we don't know right now how caught up Brian Branch is.
I think if he make it just because of his versatility.
Yeah. So I think that if he coming back, standing out, and depending on where Brian Branch stands in learning the scheme, whatever, being ready to go, I think that you could see Iffy taking that spot until Brian Branch is ready to take the field in a more significant way. That's my roster projection with that. Okay, we're already at 7:00. Well, let's see if we can keep going. We've got one more. We've got the specialists. The last so we are at a roster count of 50 right now. We got 3 ones to pick to add to the 53 man, and these choices end up being Michael Badgley, Jack Fox, and Jake McQuaid. I didn't even know that guy was on your team.
Right. I don't think he was our long snapper last year, but I don't know. I don't got nothing to say about this group because whatever. No, wait, because we do got kind of a controversy at kicker.
Yeah, so, there is a controversy at kicker, but we're fine with Jack Fox. Jack Fox is a lockdown for me of these 3 guys. The other 2,
yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I feel like they probably gonna choose Riley Patterson because since they traded for him to get back here, but maybe not because I said the same thing about Trinity Benson and I was super wrong because I thought oh hell yeah they're gonna play him because they traded for some shit for him. Couldn't have been more wronger. But
that's another guy I can't figure out why he's been back 3 times, but
because he might can play, but I don't know. You're right. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I see Michael Badgley securing the lockdown here because Romo and Patterson struggled at times in the OTAs. So unless there's a really significant improvement, I don't see this going unchallenged. And long snapper, who cares? Bring back Dan Skipper. Who is it? Who was the long snapper that everyone was talking about? It wasn't it Dan Skipper?
Mulebach or something, I think.
Yeah, Mulebach. That's what I'm trying to think of. But
If I'm
yeah,
saying the name right.
yeah, bring him back. Make him a lockdown.
Yeah, might as well. Long
Yeah,
snappers can
right.
snap it till they 50.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So looking at this 53-man roster, it looks like you're the cornerback situation and the kicker situation is probably our weakest spots here on this field. So it's going to be
Mm,
interesting to see how these battles are going to go.
I don't know, cause again, if the plan, if what they saying is the plan is to not be trying to kick no long distance field goals anyway, then I feel like we got all guys that's gonna fit that role. Um, I don't know. A kicker better not be a topic of discussion throughout this season. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, the kicker situation worries me because games can be won and lost by the
Go
kicker.
go San Ocho Cinco. He can kick it.
Okay, you got any more thoughts on this 53-man roster and who's going to make it, LL?
I'm ready for football
I
because
know.
I don't know who's gonna make the roster. Just better be some good players and don't sign nobody like Will Harris to just come and not do nothing productive.
Or Trinity Benson. Oh, shots fired at Coach Mike. LL don't care. He's doing a drive by tonight, shooting us off his own
No
fireworks.
heavens, no. I look, I won't even say Will Harris need to go away forever. I say he's going to be a coach, so he'll still be here. He just won't be, wearing a uniform anymore. He just wear a polo and a nice pair of khaki breeches.
He needs to be in charge of handling the balls because that's probably what he's most good at. But
I don't know about that, but
anyhow, okay. Before we get to final thoughts, I want to really quickly run through and acknowledge and appreciate those of you who stick with us in the Proud Nation Roar, who's been down with us for day one. Is we're going to head out to the Wall of Fame and give you the recognition you deserve. For our bronze members, we got D313XP, we on Top Doe 100, Dan Spanos, Jomo, Rob Grozowski, Brian Stover, Ranton Q, Latino Leo, Crystal Wiley, and Detroit Drew. Our silver members are Cap Ice Cold, Kirkland Pratt, and Dale. And our gold members are Dominic Davis, the Jazzy One, Paul Giroux, John Martin, Lionor of Douchebagia, Michael Lewis, Justin the D, Larry McQuiston, and the Tornado who blows in from Utah. So we appreciate you. We love you. Let's see. Due to our increased talent, how many players that we put on the practice squad will be snatched up? Do you know anything about that? Hello?
What was the question?
Due to our increased talent, how many players that we put on the practice squad will be snatched up?
Um, it all depends on who hit the practice squad. Because if somebody like Starling, what's his name? Martin? Is his last name Martin? If Starling
Thomas. Yeah,
Thomas, yeah,
Thomas.
my
Yeah.
apologies, Starling Thomas. If he makes the team, I feel like he's a talented player, but he might not get snapped up because he got injury history. Like Tom Kennedy probably won't get snapped up because they just like go ahead, y'all can keep him. Players like that, I think like we'd be okay with. It was somebody else who I said about probably make the practice squad. But yeah, I don't think they'll get snatched up. I hope not. But if a player like Ibrahim make it on the practice squad or Craig Reynolds, I think they get snatched up pretty quick.
There's probably maybe 2 or 3 guys on this that if they make it to the practice squad, may get snatched up.
Like a player,
But
I feel like if Covington don't make it, he'll probably get picked up. And
yeah,
Benito Jones as well. He probably ain't gonna make it, but I feel like he'll get
yeah,
picked up somewhere.
Covington was the third veteran that is not expected to make it to week 1.
I heard a lot of positive about him, but I just don't know what it's gonna be. And we'll see.
Yeah, all right. So, any more final thoughts you got, LL?
Happy Wednesday. Have a great day. Secret Invasion episode 3 is out. I ain't watched it yet. Don't spoil it for me. I'm about to watch it shortly after this.
All right, and like I always say that a lioness is only as good as her pride, and we've got the best pride here with the Prowl Nation Roar. Thank you guys for watching. we our next. If you like this show, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. Share with your Lions fans. Let's get together and have more fans into this. We're coming up into the season, so we're gonna have a lot more to talk about when this training camp hits. So we want to have as many Lions fans as possible sharing their thoughts. And make sure you check us out at Free for All Friday. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You never know who's going to show up. So, and what might happen, because we love to derail on that show. That is our kind of our after dark show. So, you guys come join us on that and enjoy the rest of your week. And of course, we love you, Jim.